see if this works. Come on now, Twitch. Do your thing.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Please do your thing.
Please do your thing.
Come on. Why you no work?
Okay, I just got a notification. The harder
That's
you
good.
work, the luckier you are.
Okay, good.
Got the email.
That's
I
good.
got the email. What the email?
And are we actually live? I don't see us. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay.
Hey, there we go.
Now it's live. Grumpy Twitch.
I don't want to work tonight.
It doesn't want to do the thing, but it's gonna
I
do the
don't
thing.
want to do
Come on now. That's not cool. It's not right.
it. It's time for the show, Twitch. I don't want to get out
I
of
don't
bed.
wanna. I don't wanna. Let me see if I can fix this thing. Hang on a second. Options. Video. That's a little bit more balanced. There we go. Save. Cool. We got the thing with the stuff. We did it. We
Yay!
did it, Reddit. Twitch was being a butt. It didn't want to let us go live. But now we're here. We did it. Hooray. So,
We
our
are
honey just
here.
got home. So
Yeah, been a long day.
it was a long day at work for Marconin.
Very long day.
Yeah.
I am tired.
Are ya? Well,
Yes.
we'll just have to, like, let the hype you up. Let's be like, let's get the hype going. Brrr.
I was lifting very heavy appliances all day
Oh, really?
upstairs. And, yeah. I had to roll with delivery people today because they were so swamped. And so my back is not quite what it used to be.
Yeah. Well, at least, like, they give you those sling things, right? The
Well,
things to
yeah.
distribute the weight. Yeah.
Yeah, they do that, but they're just over the shoulder just so they can kind of get us up, and get the thing up, and we're going. So,
The best is when you got to bring them. We got to bring them out in the up the stairs and stuff or downstairs.
yeah, yeah. Then it's no fun, but
No.
it was a good day overall.
You're like, yes,
Very
I've
good
been
day.
lifting a lot of weights. A lot of them.
You got tickets to the gun show?
Y'all got the gun show.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's awful.
Yeah, well.
Very awful.
Well, it's one of those things where you've given us a moment in time. It's been one moment
Yeah.
in time that we're never gonna get back.
This magic moment.
Oh man,
Mm,
I'm tired too today. It's been
yeah.
feels like a long week.
Yes, it has.
Mm-hmm. I stretch my arms up for a sec. Get the blood flowing in the body a little bit. Garrus has got his leg wrapped around him again, like his back leg is up by his nose. Silly cat.
Stretchy, stretchy.
It's like he's sleeping that way. He's a goof. Such a goofball. Hello, chat room. I hope
Hello.
everybody's functioning well today.
Uh,
As people are starting to like trickle in. Hello.
hello, Kratos.
Hello. We are ready. We are ready to do a show. This episode's topic actually came from, of all places, the wall of my gym. So if you look at the show title, that quote was what was posted up on the, well, written up on the chalkboard at my gym, like right when you walk in the door. There's a huge like floor to ceiling chalkboard that they've got right there to like tell you when the new classes are coming up, and you know, they usually have these challenges going on, and so they're like, oh, the new, like, you know, 90-day blah 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 challenge. So yeah, and so, and then there is that posted on there. They also, my gym is also pretty funny because they have this jar of little pieces of paper, and it says, do you need some motivation? Take one and then put it back. So, and it's by where you like, it's like by where the cubbies are, and the where you could put your bag and your coat and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that the person who wrote them out is not the best speller in the world, because I kind of peeked at the jar as I was getting my shoes on, and you know, it's like the word opportunity is spelled wrong. The word motivation is spelled wrong, and you know, my brain, grammar Nazi. Spelling, grammar, get it right. Your motivation is lost on me because your spelling is bad.
I cannot be motivated by bad grammar.
I can't. I'm going to be distracted, and now I'm not going to be motivated. I'm going to be grumpy because I want to change it. Yeah, I may have a slight problem.
Teeny bit.
Just a teeny weeny bit. Hi guys, you're trickling in. We see Tiber and Powerman 79 and Eli and Winchester and Caiaphon. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the party. Well, it's not a party yet. Probably will be. Party
don't stop till I walk in. Don't stop.
Let it go. Oh,
something.
By the way, Kalani helped me fix. So let's make sure that it works. You're probably he was hearing dropout on Skype, but I was not. So hopefully it works. Did it?
No drop off then.
That's nice. Okay, good.
Yeah. It may have drop off while you're talking, if like under the music beds. That's when I would always get drop off. It was around then, so maybe not.
Drop off when it was silenced, so I don't know what the hell's going on. But it's clearly only Skype, because and the drop off's only going to happen to Mark Honan, who's listening on it. Yeah. To it through.
It's not gonna hurt you guys.
You guys are fine. You're getting the direct line in. It's just Mark Honan who can't hear it.
It's just me that's affected.
I know, but we tried it on Discord just for kicks, and it has no drop off. So it's clearly Skype being a butt, because Skype is a butt. So.
Skype is a butt. Skype is a butt.
We could make a very eloquent song about Skype being a butt. Skype is a butt.
Skype is a butt. Why don't you ever want to work right? Because Skype is a butt. Keeps dropping frames and they can't hear right.
Someone call for the doctor?
Yes.
Okay, everything's working.
They did call for the doctor.
Everything works again. The issue for chat, because you guys were here last week, is that my beloved four-legged animal decided to unplug one of my cords from the back of my computer. And when we were doing the whole thing of testing it, I didn't look, because I didn't think he could get back there enough to just pull a cord out, but I was wrong. So, yeah, my little fuzzy menace is what I'm going to call him from now on.
Yep, the fuzzy menace.
He's very cute. He is a menace. Trying to do some of the chainmail work I've been doing lately, and he's just been like, boing, up on the desk. Dude, no, down. Boing. I was like, dude, no, stop.
No.
He'll walk over my mat, and then little rings will stick to his paws and go flying as he jumps down. Like, it's dude, no. You suck.
That is cute, though.
It is cute until you find rings like across the house because they got stuck on his paws, you know?
True. This is true.
I now, because I've been doing so many things with little tiny rings lately, I keep finding them. They must get lost in my clothes while I'm doing stuff. And then I found them in the dryer, in the washer. I was the other day I was doing something and I'm like, what is that on inside my shirt on my elbow? Rings had gotten in my sleeve of my sweatshirt and fallen straight down into the corner of my elbow. And I'm like, I literally had rings inside my sweatshirt. Oh, I tell you what, it's never boring around here.
Nope, never is.
There's rings everywhere. Too funny. All right, it's 8:12. Are you about ready to roll?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Chat room.
Getting all my stuff together.
Chat room.
I heard that.
You heard that. It's awesome.
Yes.
Dear chat room, are you ready? Are you ready to rumble?
Are you ready? Ready for the race? Are you ready?
I am ready. I am ready. Let's do the thing with the stuff.
Let's do it. That almost sounds like somebody's throwing up.
It kind of did.
Let's do it.
Ancient Chinese secret. All right.
All right.
One more arm stretch. Ooh. Sore from my workout yesterday. Ugh. Everything is sore.
Everything is really sore.
Yes.
All my body parts are screaming at me.
My body hurts. All right, chat room. Let's do this thing. Marconin, let's do this thing.
I think that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Idea.
Tauren Think Tank, episode 265, records in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 265 of Tauren Think Tank, and today is Thursday, March 22nd of 2018. That was a brain fart. It is 8:14 p.m. Central Time, and my name is Jules. With me, as always, is the man with the chair dancing plan. He's been chair dancing since we started playing the theme. It's Marconin.
Hey, guys and gals. Welcome aboard the Chair Dancing Express, featuring Jules and Marconin, your weekly jaunt into rolling furniture and shenanigans with gyrating around to music, both performed and imaginary.
It's too funny to watch Marconin's face when I randomly pick something to call him, because he usually gives me this look like, oh crap, and it's just like this flash of oh crap, and then he falls right into it. But you guys who are listening to the podcast, you don't. He's now underneath his desk.
I was slinking away.
It's slinking away. You guys on the podcast version don't see that. It looks like it's seamless and planned. We will tell you right now, it is not seamless. Well, it's not planned, but it is seamless unless we tell you about it.
No seams here, folks.
No seams there. Hey, what's going on with you? How's things? What's been happening?
Well, It's been pretty good the last week. Had a long day at work today because I came in right under the wire to get ready for the show, just because it's been a heck of a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a pretty good week. The missus came home on Sunday from her awesome convention trip thing she was at.
Yeah.
And so it's good to have her back. And yeah, just kind of back to normal again. I did a lot of cleaning around the house, so it feels good. I got into even before spring. It was like a few days before spring started. I was already doing spring cleaning, even during the winter.
Nice.
So that just shows you can clean any of the 4 seasons, and not just the hotels. But yeah, it's been a pretty good. It's been a pretty good week. Just excited for movies season is coming. My wife has never seen Pacific Rim, or she hadn't until Monday. So the sequel's coming out this weekend, and I want to go see it and take her with me, and she'd never seen it. So I bought a copy, and we watched it on Monday. So I'm really jazzed about the sequel coming out this weekend. And then, of course, Ready Player One comes out next week. So I am beside myself. See? Next to me is myself. I am literally beside myself. Those of you that are watching the podcast on the download later, or you're not looking at Twitch right now, or you're not looking at YouTube right now, you are seeing an amazing thing. There's someone beside myself, and that is me, myself, but not really. And so we are having a really good time. I'm so jazzed and excited. Every new trailer that I see has me more excited for this movie. Can't wait.
Oh, and I'm seeing really good reviews and response.
Yeah, I've tried to stay away from like any specifics they're talking about, but just the tag of, good or not, all the things like this is pure Spielberg. It's wonderful. It's the same feeling of the older movies that made him famous. That same idea of like E.T., Indiana Jones, the adventure movie is what people are saying. And so that has, like you were saying, we're both really, it's a good sign. It's a really good sign.
Yeah.
And I'll still go in there and enjoy it. I can critique it later. In fact, I'll probably go watch it probably at least 2 or 3 times, because I've heard that you're going to need to see it a few times to get all the little, of course, Easter eggs throughout everything.
Catch all the little things that fly by really fast.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I can't wait to see like the list of Easter eggs in this movie. It's going to be a mile long, I bet. Did you see this one character? He's very obscure from this weird game that no one has ever seen or played, that they only made 3 copies of, but it's there. Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
it's
soaked.
Yeah, I'm just giddy and excited. So I am. That's mostly it. Me obsessing about movies, wondering when they're going to announce BlizzCon tickets going on sale. That should be coming soon, I hope.
Yeah. So
I can start to get ready for that. But yeah. Just a good week. Can't really complain that much.
Good.
But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm very happy to be here. That's the perfect thing right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I did get the Battle for Azeroth Alpha Access email right before this too. So that's going to be fun. I'm excited to dip my toes in that. I'm going to try not to spoil myself on the story too much, but I might get in there and do some bug testing, as it were. But yeah, so that's about it. So what about, and there's something that I got in the mail today that we'll talk about later on, but.
Yes. Yeah, but, what about, talk about it now, because we both.
I guess we can, because it applies to both of us.
Right.
Well, our good friend Jim Beverly, who you all know has been on the show and talked a couple times, he is a bit of an artiste, and he likes to paint miniatures.
Yes. Like
D&D miniatures. And there's a cool little website called Hero Forge where you can make your own custom little figures. And so Mr. Beverly was very kind and awesome and amazing enough to not only create a little mini Juliana and Marconin, but he even hand painted them and he sent them to us.
And they came in today, and we both have ours, and it's like super tiny, so I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up for our stream viewers, but
you can kind of see mine.
Yep.
Those of you on the download, I am very sorry.
Yes, but Night Elf and gnome, and they're super cool, and we can't thank him enough. So that was such a nice little surprise.
It is awesome. It even has my name on the underside of it too.
Yeah, it's like
it's so cool.
And mine just says Jules on it, and it's just perfect.
I love it. Thank you, Jim. I love it. I'll tweet out pictures of it.
Yes.
It is so cool.
Very,
I love
very
it.
cool. So we are super grateful for that.
We are. What else has been rolling around in your world for the last week, Jules?
So I've been really, really busy with commissions, chainmail commissions. And one of them came in that has been kind of a rush order, and I can't say too much about it because it's a surprise reveal by the customer. So here are the things that I can say about it. It is the largest piece I have ever made, and it took me about 35 hours over the last, I want to say 10 days, 11 days to create it. And it was a lot of work. It was a lot of time. And I even purchased a display mannequin to be able to photograph it. So if that can kind of give some hints as to what I did, what I created, which will be revealed in a couple of weeks once the customer has gotten ready for the event that they're doing this for. So I'm super excited. It went in the mail today, and my hands were just done. I spent so much time, especially this past weekend, working on them. I actually had to purchase a pair of compression gloves to just have like on my right hand is the worst, because that's where most of my movement and pressure is on my right hand. So
yeah.
And it actually was like super helpful for me to have these. So so there's that. I'm so proud of it. And I'm going to be doing another large project coming up really soon, probably starting next weekend. I have one more project that I need to finish first, and then another very large project that I will be talking about. And so there's going to be some really neat stuff. Like if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram and Facebook, I usually like post stuff all during the weekend as I'm making them, and I can't post a damn thing right now because I can't show anybody what I'm working on. But
you could post like one ring.
Yeah, but
like,
even
just one of them on the ground. Like, I'm working on something with that. This is him.
Yeah, I mean, the number of rings that I probably used for that project probably numbered towards the 4,000 number, and so that's 4,000 rings that I either had to open or close or both, and weave. And so when you guys see it, I cannot wait. I seriously, like, I have the photos. It's just like, I can't release them yet, and I'm dying because it's so cool. So that's that. I wanted to also share something that because we've been talking things about like sleep and anxiety and stuff like that. And one of the things that I've been anxious for the past couple years. It's just, a lot of life changes, a lot of really stressful things. Anxiety is just a thing in my life. And sometimes it hinders my sleep, like really bad. So
yeah,
I did some research, and I had been hearing about these weighted blankets that seem to have kind of cropped up after a Kickstarter of the product had gone really well. Like, it had just been like in mainstream, and then all of a sudden there were a ton of other ones out there. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should give this a shot. And so but they're expensive. Like, they're super pricey because they weigh like 18, 20 pounds, they're huge pieces. And so I last weekend I bit the bullet, and I decided I was going to try one out. And I was a little hesitant because I sleep really warm. I'm very warm when I sleep. So I have to be really careful, because I'll just wake up and I'm just like, I'm dying. I'm so hot. So I'll tell you this. If you suffer from anxiety, if you have problems sleeping, as well, I say give a weighted blanket a try if you can afford it. And here's my quick review of it. Like, if you don't feel anxious, you're going to put this thing on and go, this is too much. It's feeling like I'm just weighted down. But if you're super anxious and stressed out, it feels like the biggest hug that you could ever get. And it just makes, like, I was fighting sleep the other night. I woke up, I couldn't sleep. And the blanket is actually on the side, like on the other side of my bed, because I can't sleep with it all the time. And I was trying to go back to sleep, but trying. I couldn't go back to sleep. And I'm like, fine, I'll just pull the blanket over. I was out. I was like out. And it was like, I mean, I'm like, you are magic. You are the most magic thing in the entire world. But it was, so I just wanted to pass that along as possibility. If you're, they are pricey. The one I got was about $149. Yeah.
What's it made out of?
It's made out of like, so regular, like quilting, duvet thing, but then it has like pellets that are in pouches throughout the whole thing. So think of it like a quilt, but all the squares are filled with these little pellets. So it's like a big old beanbag.
That's kind of what I was thinking, like a big, like if you took a giant meat tenderizer to a beanbag, that's what you'd have. Yeah,
it's like a big old beanbag. And, the one that I got is 18 pounds. They say you're supposed to get one that's about 10% of your body weight. And I was like, I'll go with the 18-pound one just to be safe, because it, 20 some odd, I felt like really weird. So I was just like, and it worked out great for me. Kratos is like 18 pounds. It's a lot, but they tell you that it should be about 10% of your body weight is what you should get, but you make your choice in that respect. So anyway, my quick review, because I talked about it on Twitter and people were super excited about hearing about it. If you're having anxiety, this might be something you'd want to consider, because it did help. It is helping me. It is helping me sleep better. Just so you know.
Good.
So
that's good.
so that, let's see, anything else? Just getting ready for Heroes of the Dorm got announced, so I'm thinking about maybe going to California in May.
Ooh.
And I think I might be heading out to New Jersey at the end of April. So it's going to be all of a sudden there's going to be more travel coming into play.
Oh, yeah.
But
I thought about, I'm still on the fence about maybe going to California at the end of April as well.
Yeah.
If I can convince the missus to go with me. Still working on it.
Is there something going on at the end of April?
Our buddy Ashanka's doing like a local SoCal meetup with
that meetup, yeah.
Medieval Times and Infinity War.
Uh-huh.
So he was like, "Hey, come on over." So I'm still like trying and like picking away, like, "Come on, let's go. We can try it."
That'd be a fun trip, though.
We'll see. Yeah, I think it'd be fun too. But we'll see.
So yeah, that's what's going on in our worlds, and we're gonna hit up our discussion question tonight. Let me first say we are out of letters from you guys, so yay for not having stuff that you need to have help with. But my guess is that you do, and you just haven't gotten around to writing us. So do the thing with the stuff and send us emails for the show. And you can do that by emailing us at questions@taurenthinktank.com. And if you want to send it via, if you want to post it in our Discord, in our discussion channel, or need some support channel and tell us you want us to use it for the show, we can do that too. It's your choice. You can choose to do it either way. We've even had people send it to us through Facebook, but I'd prefer you to send it through email or Discord, because that's where I check the most. So that we certainly appreciate the fact that you guys are like all peachy keen, but give us stuff for the show.
Yeah. Even if you see something somewhere, they're like, "Hey, this would make a great topic to talk about."
Yeah.
Would like to hear it.
It doesn't have to be like a personal crisis either. It could be, I've been wondering your take on this topic.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, it could be anything. Just, I mean, even at the very least, we could just say, "I don't know if we'll take that one or not, but thanks for the suggestion." You can at least send something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You need to just at least do that.
It's the least you could do.
Oh, like, totally. All right. Let's Valley Girl this
Jeez.
thing up. We're going to hit our discussion question of the week. I'm going to play the bumper, and we're going to do the thing. If I can find it. There it is.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
So this discussion topic was inspired by the strangest of places. I mean, it's not a strange place, but it's probably a strange place to have a discussion topic pop up. At my gym, of all places. I was at the gym. When I go to my gym, it's an anytime fitness, so 24 hours, it's open all the time. And in my gym, like, you walk in the door and there's a huge blackboard. It's like floor to ceiling blackboard where they post like what's going on, the classes and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in like this lower quadrant of the blackboard, there was this little thing. I took a picture of it and put it on Twitter, and it says, "The harder you work, the luckier you are. The harder you work, the luckier you are." And I kind of scratched my head at that because, well, number one, it was on the board at the gym.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it was like there was a little shamrock and stuff like that. So I got the feeling like they were trying to do something with the word luck in it for St. Patrick's Day and blah, blah, blah. But it was a strange thing for me to think about. And I'm walking, actually, I had seen it as I was walking out. So I was walking out of the gym back home, and I was walking in my car, and I'm like, that's kind of bunk. And then I was like, you know what? We need to talk about this on the show. Because I'm like, that's bunk. And then I was like, well, maybe it's not. But it just felt weird to read that and say, okay, so all you need to do is work hard and your luck gets better? What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, I had a couple of thoughts on this one. The thing that I took away from it is, you see people that you admire. They are either doing the things you want to do. They look the way you want to look. They're you're envious of them. Like, oh, they're so lucky that they get to do that. Well, 9 times out of 10, luck really didn't have anything to do with it. They worked hard. And in their working hard and their dedication to whatever they're doing, the happenstance of the universe had them ready. Take, for instance, me doing what I do now at work is the culmination of 7 years of getting skills and learning how to do the job, and just getting from all different areas of the company, just getting different little tidbits here and there and everywhere. And when the opportunity sprung and I just happened to look, there was an opportunity and I went for it. Mm-hmm. And because of my hard work, it was almost like, oh yeah, you're in. I mean, it happened like twice because I was ready to go and I'd worked hard, so that when luck decided to point its way in my general direction, I was ready for that leap forward. So for me, the main thing that I took from that was that if you work hard, that appearance of luck comes. The luckier you are in that you are getting to the goals you want. You're going in the direction you would like to go, especially people that you were possibly envious of in that way. So yeah. It's kind of like, I'll be honest, I'm envious of Epic Insanity because he gets to do voiceover for a living. That's what I want to do. That's my dream. And I thought, man, I'm envious of him because he gets to do it. Mm-hmm. Now, he quit his job. He quit everything. He threw caution to the wind, and he works his butt off to do that.
Yep.
He works probably 3 times the amount of hours I do. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he works from home, but he's worked hard and he has earned the luck, earned that ability to do something that I want to do, that I don't have the ability or the time to do it right now. I don't have the luxury of dropping everything and starting, because my life's a different situation, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of the idea that I was getting from that. That's kind of the thing that I think they might be trying to say. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Well,
while you were talking, I came up with a Merriam-Webster.com to see what is the actual definition of luck. And it is a force that brings good fortune or adversity, or the events or circumstances that operate for or against an individual.
Oh, I thought luck be a lady tonight. It's so wrong.
I don't know I don't know, is this dictionary.com? And then there's this one. Success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than through one's own actions. So everything you just said about working hard to get, to earn things would make no difference under the luck definition, because it's based off of chance. It's a, flip a coin, yes or no, heads or tails. And that is what I take exception with, because it's like, okay, I mean, I understand the, more opportunities are available to people who work hard. Like, you prove that you're worthy of, or that you are knowledgeable, or that you're experienced, and opportunities can sometimes come your way without solicitation of those opportunities because you've made a name for yourself. You've established a reputation. You've established, if people see you and they see that you're working on certain things, let's use voiceover for an example, you have tangible stuff to show, to say, I am successful. I have tangible stuff to say, I can make that. I can, other people have trusted me to do that, and I've made it, and this is what I've made, and therefore I can make your thing too. And so the luck part is what still trips me up. Is like, but at the same time, in contradiction to exactly what I'm saying, I will be the first one to say I am very lucky for the opportunities that I've been given. So it's this, like, there's this,
and it's
paradox.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's it depends on how I guess how you perceive luck. Not necessarily the definition of it, but what you perceive luck to be.
Yeah.
How you see luck working in the world, and I wish we had whoever wrote this on the billboard to say, what did you mean? Like you need to get like a reporter, on the spot reporter with a camera and a whole OBS setup, and just go to the gym. Like, did you write this other thing? What does that mean? Can you tell us the deeper philosophical meaning of the harder you work, the luckier you'll be? He was like, I saw it on a bathroom stall on I-20 down in Louisiana, and I thought it sounded good, so I wrote it down. And so now it's on this billboard.
Yeah.
So, and it's this, I guess it's the perception of what you think luck is, because I'll be the second on the show to say I'm very lucky to be where I'm at. But in a lot of ways, I earned it. I earned the opportunity to get where I'm at. If I didn't work hard on the audio stuff at college, I wouldn't have had the proficiency to start doing it for the instance at the end. And then I wouldn't have had, and if I hadn't seen Rem's tweet about needing help, I wouldn't have been, and being prepared enough to show him the stuff that I worked on, he wouldn't have taken the chance of letting me help out Triple T that first time.
Right.
So, but it is that hard work that gives you, I guess it puts a bigger target on you to say, hey, luck, hey, happenstance, come my way, because no matter what, I've worked hard and I've prepared for whatever the universe can throw at me.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's kind of how people think of it, because luck is all well and good. Luck is great. I could have fantastic luck. There could be an oil field beneath my house, and for some random reason, I'll tap my foot, and all of a sudden, up from the ground came a bubbling crude. But it's probably not going to happen, so I should probably go to work. And then I'll get really lucky. If I work hard, I'll get lucky, quote unquote, and get a nice raise or an advancement because I've shown I have a lot of work, and they'll take a chance. They'll feel lucky about hiring me. They'll feel like, maybe we'll get a good return on our investment. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's, people view luck as could be this amorphous thing like in our definition, or it could be, I think whoever the author is, this savant of chalkboard decals, may not have a deeper meaning behind it. It may just be like, hey, yeah, you might want to lose weight or get in shape, feel lucky about it. How about you just come in and put the work in, and then you'll get there. You won't have to rely on luck. It'll look like it's luck.
Yeah.
It'll appear as luck from an outside perspective, but it's really the hard work that gets you to with the appearance of luck.
Yeah, I mean, you could take it to the literal sense if you really want to and get a little weird about it and say, hey, look, if you look better, you're probably going to get lucky more often.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. But,
then luck would be a lady tonight or a gentleman.
Or a gentleman.
Yeah.
But the interesting part of it is the, just the scenarios that it put forth in my head. Like, so I will say, I mean, in terms of my career and the things that I'm doing right now, it was kind of like this series of events that came together to allow me to go on the path that I'm on. But it wasn't, so one could say it was very lucky that, that we had the opportunity to talk to Coltrane on the show early on, like episode 5, and Coltrane then saying to me, hey, you're going to Nerdtacular, you should meet Pat Crane. And me meeting Pat Crane in Nerdtacular, which then became the opportunity for us to join forces. And then we started working together on stuff related to podcasting, and then convert to Raid, and then the guild, and then the party, and all of that stuff. But that whole series of things could be chalked up to luck. It could.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it could.
Just opportunity, or just like, hey, this is just whatever fate just had, routed into my path. But then you take it to the literal sense and say, well, I started this podcast and started doing this with someone who was a real big fan of Coltrane and really wanted him on the show. And he went out there and he said, hey, will you be on our show? And he says yes. And then that's how this whole thing started. And that was work. That was created. That was not just, hey, this just like happened to fall into your lap because you were a random schmo who didn't like know how to podcast and you just never thought about podcasting in your life, and all of a sudden this person decides to like want to be on your non-existent podcast. And then your sudden opportunity. I mean, yes, this stuff happens. Yes, it does. But stuff happens. But the thing about it is, like, I don't think I agree that the harder that you work, the luckier that you are. Yeah. Because I believe that you make your own luck.
But maybe that's what that means. If you make your luck, then the harder you work, the more luck you make.
Ooh, okay.
Because in your example, you say, oh, you're going to Nerdtacular. You should totally, talk to Pat Crane. And the first time you met him, you felt super awkward, right? It was totally. Like, hi. Yeah. If you would have just been self-defeated and said, okay, well, I met him. That's, it's great. Okay. And then you never said anything to him again. These other happenstances of luck would have never happened, but you put in the work to get to, it's kind of like, going through levels of a game or store up stories on a building to get to the next level. Sometimes there's a snap of luck somewhere and you choose either to advance or not advance.
Yeah.
Maybe that's kind of what it is. And like you said, you make your own luck. Maybe
we just solved the whole thing. I think
we did it. The end.
We did it, Reddit.
All right, play the outro bumper. Let's go. Tauren Think Tank is part of the Signals Media All-Star Network.
Which would have never been happening of the All Signals Media All-Star Network if I had not met Pat Crane.
Really?
Really? So, okay. So I think I'm falling on the camp of you make your own luck, so then, therefore, if you work hard enough, your luck chances improve.
Mm-hmm.
But why was this on the wall of my gym? I don't get it.
Because they want you to work out, and it was March, so green shamrocks and leprechauns and rainbows and pots of gold. Don't you know?
Conan is saying, Jules, you're reading too much into this crap.
But I like this mental exercise. I like taking a little bit and just like stretching it out and seeing where we can take it. So
Yeah.
I dig stuff like this because, I mean, there's a lot that can be pulled from gym sidewalk chalkboards and bathroom stalls across the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't think of a topic for Tauren Think Tank, just go to your local truck stop, bathroom stall, find a quote, take a picture of it, just the quote, nothing else in there, and then just send it to us at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. We'll extrapolate it and go on a philosophical adventure with you.
Well, and now that this show has gone completely off the rails.
Well, I think we did. I think it's it's a cool idea, but you're right. It does strike you as it's almost like an oxymoron. Like it shouldn't. Like that shouldn't. It's like oil and water. Shouldn't really mesh.
Right. Well, so the definition of luck in my head a lot of times is literally gambling, going to a casino and rolling the dice, or letting the cards flop the way they flop, or letting a slot machine dictate your fate. You have no control over that. And so if you read this at face value and you say the harder you work, the luckier you are, well, okay, so if I burn 400 calories at the gym, does that mean I'm going to hit a jackpot at the local casino?
No.
And so, blah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people let's take my mount collecting, for instance. Some people say I have a lot of great luck with collecting mounts. Maybe, but I put in the work.
Yeah.
I go and I run the dungeons every week. I do the rocket mount Lord knows how many times. And I still haven't got it yet. But the opportunity is always there for that luck, for that chance drop, all these little things. And I put in the work. I do the study. I do the research. I find all these things. And I try my best because it's what I want. I'm working for it. So it feels like luck. And in some instances, it might be. But a lot of it is just the hard work, the research, the being dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of it's along the same lines of the harder you work, the luckier you will be. I think it would be better if they just said the harder you work, the luckier you will appear to be.
Yeah.
That would sound appropriate.
Yeah.
Correct.
If you're pursuing let's take the mount thing for an example. Like, you are going after hundreds of different mounts over the time frame that you've been searching for them. So that's, how many thousands of opportunity chances you've taken. So you're in random chance, you're going to hit a winner every once in a while. And the more times you play. Now, you could walk into a mount situation and have it drop on the first time. And if you say, oh my gosh, that's so lucky. But does that happen every single time you do? Like, if it literally every single time you went in there, you hit it on like the first or second random opportunity, that's luck. Like,
I want that kind of luck.
Right? You want that.
But yeah, and just like the casino goer, they probably won't win their first hand, but if they go habitually and spend a lot of money, they may win more times than you would expect if you just went and did it once. They're allowing more opportunities for the luck to be in their favor.
It's talking about over time opportunity and luck versus pure like singular happenstance. So that doesn't come with hard work. Like, you walking into a dungeon run where you've never seen it before and you hit the mount on the first try, like, you put in the work, but you did it one time and you got it. And then there's 100 million other people who are like, oh my God, I've been doing this forever and I haven't gotten it for 8 years. Because we all know who that is. And so
it depends on the mount. It's both of us.
Yeah. But I mean, I've had instances where I've had something drop on the first try where somebody was, people were trying forever to get it. So that to me is the definition of like, you got super lucky. Like, that your random number just happened to hit. Like, you didn't do anything different in terms of work for anybody else. But you have how many mounts? 300 and something?
Oh, good Lord. Let me see. I mean, and this is only Alliance side, so let me see. I actually have to look. And there's like 5 different ways to account for them, so
Yeah.
it's
Well, ballpark it.
It's a little screwy. Like 370.
Yeah, so you have like 370 mounts, which means that you have been trying for these things and, doing runs almost every single week to keep trying for the ones that you haven't done. That's work. You're putting in work, but I don't know if that makes you lucky or not. It just makes your opportunities go up.
Yeah, but to outside people, it appears that I have that luck because I've gotten all of these rare drop chance mounts. It appears that I have this luck because of the nature of its like RNG-ness. There's just a rare chance for it to drop, but I've spread that chance every week for years. So eventually the chips will fall in my favor. But to an outside observer, if they're just like, "Hey, look at all these mounts he's got. Wow, that's really lucky." Well. One man's luck is another man's hard work, determination, and being prepared for when the opportunity arises.
Yeah, but you could still continue to go after a certain amount for X number of times and never get it because of sheer randomness of the drop ratio. So, yeah, and somebody could work on something their entire life and never get an opportunity to do it for real. Like if let's say you're into art and all you wanted to do was to draw for a living, and you spend your entire life practicing, and it's possible that you would never have that opportunity to make a living off of it, and it's possible. So though the statement of the harder you work, the luckier you are seems to be somewhat valid, it's not be all or end all.
No,
it's not. So
no, I mean they're not going to win any doctoral dissertations with this one, but it's I guess they're just trying to sell workout shakes or something. I don't know. There's some angle.
Come back and lift more weights at the gym because that's where I saw it. So yeah. All right, we're gonna let this one go. If you have thoughts of this discussion topic, we'd love to hear it. You can come out and send us an email at questions@taurenthinktank.com. You can tweet us and let us know what you think of it. Go into our Discord server, which is tinyurl.com/tttchat2, and you can start the discussion there and make everybody mad with everything you have to say about it, or be like, I agree with Jules. I agree with Barconen. I don't agree with either of you. So.
Yeah, we want to hear it. We are very lucky to have you all listening and would love for your feedback.
And others would say that we've put in the work to create this community by being here for 6 years making this podcast.
Tomato, tomato.
Tomato, tomato, indeed. All right, let's get into our tell us one thing questions. What?
I want to start scouring like bathroom walls for deep thoughts now. Whenever we're light on topics, it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, tweeting them. Let's do that. Audience, you can do this. Triple T bathroom thoughts.
Hashtag Triple T bathroom philosophy.
Start it up. I think this could be a thing.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. Well, I see a lot of bathroom because like I travel a lot around the city, so I see a lot of bathroom stalls. So, I'll see what I can find.
Well, I'm a homebody and I don't get out much, so we'll have to see if you find more you'll find more bathroom stalls than I will, for sure. So all right, let's get into our tell us one thing questions for the week and see what you guys had to say.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Tell us one thing time. It's when we send out questions and you guys answer them, and so do we.
Yes, we do. This was my week.
It was.
It was my week.
What you got?
Mine. First question. It's karaoke night, which is something I've really been wanting to do with Jules for like years, but we can never make it work. It's karaoke night. What song are you singing? What's your go-to? What's one you want to sing?
I've only done it once in karaoke, and it's and it requires me to have a partner to sing with, because it's Evanescence and it's Bring Me to Life. And and there's the guy part, you know, the kind of like rocker.
Wake me up.
Yeah, that. And so that is, I've only done it once. But usually it's something goofy, like Walking on Sunshine, or, you know, like feel good, like silly songs that you could just like sing along to. And who doesn't love a drunk Sweet Caroline, you know?
Yeah.
So
true.
Yeah, so that's mine.
Awesome. Well, mine, you know, and I've lamented of not being a tenor voice, and all the great songs are by tenors, but a lot of the ones that I do like are baritones, which is what I am, and I'm going with my favorite baritone singer, and that's James Taylor. I love James Taylor's music, and the great thing about it is he's kind of like on the low end of the tenor / high end of the baritone, so most of those songs I can actually sing in the right octave. So, and the only time I've ever done karaoke is one time I sang James Taylor's Sweet Baby James, and I sang that. This is the only time I've done karaoke. But if I had to pick, I would pick either Frozen Man by that, You've Got a Friend, or Fire and Rain. Those are my three of my favorite songs by him. And I really love his music, and that's what I'd go with, because I could actually sing it in that octave.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to sing a really high pitched and strain my voice. And,
yeah.
Or, you know, there's always Johnny Cash is a good standby, or Elvis. Those are the top three. But
I have a philosophy about karaoke for the most part, and that is that a good karaoke performance needs to be something that people can sing along with you. A song that's fun and you know, just a feel good song. So, because otherwise, like, you know, the ballads and everything like that, people can be like, oh, that's nice, but I'm so tired and I'm so mellow, and it's not a party when you're mellow.
Yeah.
So that's my philosophy on it. But there you go.
Yeah.
So we asked you guys what you had to say. Kalani is our first responder, not in the EMT sense. He says, Journeys Don't Stop Believing. I can't help it. I'm a city boy born and raised in North-South Detroit myself.
I like it. Kaifin says Hero by Mariah Carey, just because the song speaks to me.
That is a good song. S Aries 08 says, a song with a lot of music so I don't have to sing much. The one song I can't help but sing to, though, is Heavy by Linkin Park, though it makes me cry so much still a year on, from Chester's death.
Solomio says it would probably be Desperado by the Eagles. Good choice. Oh my gosh.
That is a great choice. That's the song that everybody wants to get into with you, and they just want to they want to lean into that song.
Yeah.
They want to lean into that. Let's see. Broken Bones says Margaritaville. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. At Erlina Hunter says The Rose by Bette Midler.
That is a hard song to sing. I will tell you this right now because I know it. I have tried to sing it, and it is hard. It's just in this, at least for me, it's in this really strange vocal range. So anything. To Canuck says anything by Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like.
Don't stand so close. I mean, clear that's the Police, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he was in it, so
I know.
I like the Police a lot.
Me too.
Good stuff. Our buddy Bim says Trapped in the Web of Love by Tony Bennett, or anything from George Michael's Listen Without Prejudice Volume 1. I've been singing those since I was a kid.
Oh my gosh, totally.
Yeah.
Queen of the North says, my wife and I always do a duet of Hit the Road Jack. That's like prime karaoke song right there.
Oh yeah. And Winchester _CTR says, Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a very good
Welcome
one.
to the jungle.
We have fun and games. Yeah, I could totally do that one. That would be fun. Thank you for your responses. That was a ton of fun. And the second question, Mark Honan.
Yep. The second question was how did your parents meet?
So my dad is here in the chat room, so he'll correct me if I'm wrong. But my mom was dating my dad's best friend when she was in high school. My dad is 5 years older than my mom. And so my mom and my uncle, my dad's brother, were actually in the same class, but they didn't know each other. And so she was dating my dad's best friend, and then she met my dad through him, and I think she liked him a lot better. So, but so my mom and dad fell in love and everything. But my family, or my mom's family, they didn't want them to get married. They actually did not want them to get married because my mom was raised Irish Catholic and my dad is Jewish. And that was a scandal. So my parents went ahead and they eloped because they were not going to be approved upon. And now my grandmother, my mom's mom, thinks my dad walks on water. So things change, people. They knew. But yeah, so, it was like they definitely they fought for the relationship for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, and I actually had to call my mom to make sure I had the story straight before the show. So, for my parents, my mom actually got married before she married my dad, and then her and her first husband decided that they would it just wasn't working out. They'd rather just remain friends, and so they had a very amicable, divorce. And they still were friends. And my dad had kind of seen her around town. She worked at the local gas station, and he would go in and get a Mountain Dew and a candy bar, and would go by and see her. And then he saw her dancing at the local dance hall, and he saw her at the bowling alley, which is like back then was like the cool local hangout because it's bowling and pinball and all pool tables and all that stuff. It's a town of like 7,000 people, so that is the cool place to go. And he. After my mom and her first husband divorced, she kept her married name, and so my mom's ex-husband walked up to like the snack bar or something. My dad came over and was like, "Hey, is that your sister?" Because it still said on the little scorecard up there, it had both of their last names were the same. Oh. It's like, "Oh, is that your sister?" And he was like, "No, it's my ex-wife." He was like, "Oh, he's like, "Dude, it's cool. We're friends. It's cool. Go ahead." So that's kind of how they met. So they met over there, and then so that's why I'm here. So
that's why we're here.
Mm-hmm. So my dad had his eyes on her.
He was
for
checking
a while.
her out. Making sure the coast was clear.
Yeah. Is that your sister?
Is that your sister? So we asked you guys, and you came back and said,
"Is that your sister?"
Should be a show title. Draven Dresden.
Good.
That's one of them.
Good
one of them for you. So Kayafin says, "My father was training out of Fort Devens, Massachusetts for a week, and he was at Seton Hall, New Jersey for ROTC. He and his buddies were given a night off and went out drinking far from base. They couldn't drive back, so they stayed the night in a local hotel. The next morning, they went to Howard Johnson's in Concord and were seated by my mother. My father was totally smitten and told his friends after she had seated them that he was going to marry her. 3 years later, they were married."
Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool story.
That's like calling your shot in pool. Like 8 ball, corner pocket, and then you get it. He's calling his shot 3 years ahead.
That pocket.
Yeah. You say that over there, I'm marrying that. That's awesome. I don't know why it has a garbled Southern voice. I apologize.
I have no idea.
Kalani said that an unruly patient in the ER where my father worked as a doctor began throwing punches and grabbed his stethoscope at one point and hit him with it. Nothing major, but the nurses picked on him a little since he could be a bit of a terror in the ER as revenge. They drew up a chart for him and everything. When they got to be the part of the triage information where they found out where he was single, she tried to set him up on a date with her roommate. He protested that he's Jewish. The nurse retorted that her roommate was as well. With his usual excuse shot down, he gave in and went on the blind date to see the big chill in the middle of a snowstorm. The rest is history.
Your dad had to get beat up to meet your mom. It's kind of
tough love, baby. Tough love.
That's pretty awesome. Zafira said, my mom's neighbor was and is my dad's cousin. She called him and let him know about my mom. Been together since then.
Oh, very cool. A Wolf Tracker said, my folks met via my mom's best friend from high school. My birth father was a 23-year-old GI, and my mom was a 17-year-old high school student.
Okay. S. Aries says, folks met through my mom's brother. He worked for the Australian Air Force together and had the classic date the brother's friend thing.
Yep. Asolamio says, I really don't know where they actually met, but I do know where they were dating, sort of when my father went to the military at 20 to fight in World War II. My mom was 16 at that time. Their relationship lasted through his overseas service, and shortly after the war was over, they got married. I was the fifth and last child, and the oldest is 15 years older than me.
Wow, it's a big difference in ages.
Mm-hmm.
Broken Bone says, my birth parents met at a church teen group thing. She threw a pie into his face to get his attention. Wow. Okay.
Hey, there you go. So sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's not so subtle.
I know. It's pretty funny.
Erlina Hunter says, he saw her at a church picnic and asked a friend who she was. He called her later to ask her out. She asked him how old he was. She was 16 and he was 20. His answer, how old should I be? Dad was 18 for a few years. Mom passed 3 weeks before the 50th anniversary of their meeting.
Aw, that's very sweet.
Wow. Yeah, that is really sweet.
Bim says, my parents were hippies in college when they met in 1965 at folk music gatherings around campus.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of the North said, they both worked at the same factory and met on the company bowling team. Bowling! Bringing people together.
Bowling, I tell you what. And finally, Razor70 says, my mom was a traveling gypsy and my dad was in the army. They met when my dad stopped to get his palm read.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
He got his palm read. He got her hand in marriage.
Isn't that
or
cool?
in meeting.
In meeting?
Yeah. That's cool.
Thank you guys so much for contributing to Tell Us One Thing this week. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back next week with another set of questions, which you can get on the answers to. And this is how you do it. Watch Twitter. We usually post them Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depends on when we get them. We also post them in Discord. And that quick link to get there, because I know some of you aren't there yet. And if you aren't, why aren't you? Because it's awesome. It's tinyurl.com/TTTchat2. Again, that's tinyurl.com/TTTchat2. And we answer them there. And that's a pretty popular place for people to answer those questions. So pretty stoked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to get into some feedback, and we have updates this week to give you guys. So let's give you. No, that's not what I wanted.
Uh-oh.
How about this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you... Whoa, that's a lot of feedback.
We were just being ready. That's okay.
Yeah, we're ready for feedback.
So from last week's letter from Mammoth, we were talking about, starting somewhere, just getting started. And he tweeted us yesterday and he said, follow up. I started at 0.75 miles for the last 2 nights. My legs are sore at the end, and I can say that the devil helped me do it. I've been watching Lucifer on Fox while I work out.
There you go, man.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. That is
your legs are being sore. That means you're putting in some work. Mm-hmm. You're in the right direction. So good job, man.
Yes. Yes. We also have an update from our anonymous writer who had told us about their father having been removed from his nursing home for sexually assaulting another resident. And the writer has sent us an update and wanted us to share it on the show. And they said, "Hey, Jules and Marconin, I thought I'd send a little update on how things are going with stuff around dealing with my father. I knew I'd probably needed to find a therapist and probably didn't want to admit it. How silly. So I did. It actually took a couple of tries because my first therapist seemed to have a very black and white attitude for the legal issues my father is facing and didn't seem interested in helping me balance that against ensuring my father's needs are met. The second try was much better, and I'm learning a lot of things that I hadn't even realized. My father has been disabled since I was 10, and my therapist is looking at this from the perspective of how that began changing my relationship with him. While I'm still really angry and frustrated with him, I'm starting to be able to separate this situation from my feelings that have been buried since I was a kid, and that's helping me have the energy to deal with stuff that comes up around the legal issues more easily."
That's good.
This is exactly the thing that I have been saying for many years, which is that not all therapists fit every patient.
Yep.
It's so
Agreed.
True. It's so true. And I know how hard it is to seek out therapy and try to get help when you're already pained. You're already, like, it's hard. And then you go to a therapist and it's like, you just don't fit. There's just not a good connection. It feels weird. It feels forced. You don't feel like your needs are being met. And then you're just like, well, screw it. It's never going to get any better. This is never going to be fixable. And what we don't always remember is that just like with doctors, because we are trained and taught that a doctor, a therapist, they're like the authority in charge. Mm-hmm. They're like the be all and end all of that profession. And they're not. Like, not all doctors, not all therapists are cut from the same cloth. And so it can be very easy to just exhaust your efforts before trying again.
Yeah. I'm glad you did try and find another therapist, though. You know, it's just like getting your car fixed. You get a quote from one person like, geez, it's going to cost that much? Let me go ask the guy down the street. And they're like, oh, no, you don't need to do that. It's actually this and this, and it's half price.
Yeah.
You know, shop around, and you're doing that. So that's fantastic. I'm glad you're making these steps, and I know you're, like you said, you're still angry and frustrated, and that's perfectly all right. Mm-hmm. You know, you're making these baby steps and trying, like you said, you're learning more things about him that you didn't quite know, and that's putting it in a different context, and that's a lot to put in, a lot to bring in. But I'm glad you've made those steps and you're still working on it. So that is fantastic. I'm so glad you wrote us back. So thank you.
I'm really happy to hear this update, and I'm so happy. Mm-hmm. Number one, that you went to therapy, and number two, that you didn't give up when the first try didn't work out so well. So good on you, anonymous writer. Keep on doing the thing, because I know it's hard, but it's worth it. I speak from experience. Therapy sucks sometimes, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And that is our feedback for the week. I'm also going to throw in our own little slash moo. There's nothing in the document, but Marcona and I share the same slash moo, and that is to the gentleman who has now appeared in our chat room, Jim Beverly. Thank you so much for the figures that we are showing to the cameras right now. We are so happy to have these, and these are, and it has our names on them. So thank you so much for thinking of us and making these wonderful things for us. We really do appreciate it.
Yes, I love it. It is so fantastic.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Did you have any additional slash moves you wanted to give this week?
Oh goodness, none that I can really think of, other than the one to Jim, because this is fantastic. I love it.
I know.
It's amazing.
I know.
I had to make sure the cats aren't going to play with it. I got to put it somewhere that they're not going to knock it off somewhere.
I know.
Put it in a cat-proof shelf or something that they can't quite get to. But yeah. So yeah, I guess slash moo to everybody out there listening. Thank you for listening. And yeah, you guys are awesome. I really do appreciate you guys being with us on this hard work but very lucky journey that Jules and I have found ourselves on. I couldn't help it.
You're blowing holes through our entire discussion. You're just destroying everything we worked so hard for.
It's an innocent little callback. It's just,
I know.
Just circling back around.
Looping it on back.
Yep.
So with that, I think we have produced and created a show. I believe that is the case.
You know what? Upon further inspection, and after comparing notes with the philosophical ramblings on the bathroom walls, I would have to agree that it is, in fact, what they call in the common tongue a show.
That was the longest response you could have ever made. Well, maybe
I
not.
could make it longer next week.
Challenge. It's a challenge.
Challenge accepted.
What's happening with you for the next 7 days? Anything?
Oh goodness, let's see. Well, not really a lot. They're calling me into work one of my weekend days because I'm doing some new training next week. So we're a little backlogged. So yeah, not a whole lot. Going to go see Pacific Rim Uprising. Hopefully, they actually opened up one of those movie tavern theaters where it's like a full restaurant thing. So I'm going to try and get some seats to go see Pacific Rim Uprising over there.
Nice.
With that. So I'll report back my experience. I'm not sure how it's going to go. Probably be cool. But yeah, that's pretty much the most exciting thing. The Mage Tower, I think, is back up in WoW. So I'm going to go bash my head against my keyboard for a few hours over the next day or so and try and get my little artifact appearance. But well, yeah, we'll see.
Good luck with that.
I need it.
May the force be with you.
I can't dance, as Phil Collins told me all those years ago in Genesis.
Because I
can't dance.
And I can't sing. There you go.
Thank you.
And as for me, I'll be prepping for the next episode of BattleNet Sports that I'll record on, I think, Wednesday this week because Pat's got his sister in town. But HGC comes back for the regular season. It comes back this tomorrow. Ooh, it's Friday. Tomorrow. And so, yeah, I'll be watching HGC, working on more chainmail all weekend because I got lots to do. My commissions are not open right now for anything new, but they will be in a couple weeks. So I got to get through this backlog first. Got to kill them all. Get them done. Just fly them out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. So, yeah, that's what's happening with us. And, you can find us in our normal spots on social media and Discord and all that type of thing. And, again, we're looking for your questions for shows or your suggestions for discussion topics. So don't be shy. Send them our way.
If they need to be anonymous, say so, and we will honor that.
Yeah. I mean,
we always do.
We'll honor, if you want your gender to be anonymous, we'll do that too. So, let us know. We're happy to do so.
Yep.
Just make sure that you tell us in the email so that we don't mess it up. And with that, we will bring this show to a close like we always do by pressing this lovely button that is marked outro. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website, and where's that? It's at taurenThinkTank.com, of course, and it has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us there, too. And if you would like some nice Triple T swag, I know it's getting springtime, a little warmer, you need a couple new t-shirts, getting around, you might find yourself in need of a Triple T t-shirt. If you want to find that, you can go to taurenThinkTank.com/store. You can also get some little sweatshirts and mugs too.
Yes. Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. We have now monthly game nights for our patrons happening once a month. And if you would like to be a part of that and help out Triple T in the process, you can do so at patreon.com/Tauren Think Tank. Even $1 will get you into priority spots for our monthly game nights. Also, if you want to hang out and meet other members of the Triple T community, get some support, show off your creative stuff, show your cat and dog pictures, go to our Discord server and post all that stuff. The quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
Yes, it is. And you can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Jules at Jules RPG, and you can find me, Mark Conan, at Mark Conan. Wow.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight and every Thursday night that we are recording, which is 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time now.
Yeah.
You can find us video stream-wise on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. And we love having you here with us in the live stream or listening to us on the download.
Yes, yes, we do.
Mark Conan.
Jules.
Have a fantastic week.
And you do the same. Get some good sleep on that cool new weighted blanket.
I'm looking forward to it tonight for sure.
Yeah.
Little cuddly is what I'm trying to say. We got to get out of here. For myself, for Mark Conan, for the entire chat room. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really?
That was very strange. All of a sudden, your hand starts coming up on the camera. I'm like, what is happening?
What is he doing? What is he doing?
What is happening?
Don't everybody panic. It's just a tiny gnome on your screen.
Just a tiny, tiny little gnome.
Tiny gnome. Tiny gnome.
Tiny gnome. Jim, we talked about the figures at the top of the show. And so when you said you were here, I was like, okay, well, we'll make sure that you know that we got them.
Yes.
Yeah, you live in Traffic Lanta.
Yeah. I got home and I checked the tracking info and I was like, it's here. I came in the door, busted the door open, and I asked my wife, I was like, did I get a package today? She's like, oh yeah, but I left it in the mailbox because I forgot. Like, so I ran down the mailbox, grabbed it, came up, and she's like, what is it? I was like, it's me. It's a tiny me.
It's a tiny me. Oh man, you took a lot of show titles.
Whoa. I guess maybe we could use one to next week.
Right.
A meat tenderizer for your beanbag. There you go. Yeah, that was totally me. Yeah, 4,000 rings. My hands were just done. Earn your luck, make your own luck. We did it, Reddit.
Sister.
Jules read too much into this. Jules and Marcona go off the rails. SoCal Avengers meet up. Pinballs and pool tables.
Yes, we're still reading it.
Yeah.
Draven's last title suggestion of March. Aww.
Yep. So jealous. I'm going to be watching Ready Player One while we're talking.
While we're recording. I mean, we could move to a different night if you needed to go see it on Thursday, but I don't think you are because you were like, no. No,
we'll probably go see it on Friday.
So,
or Saturday.
Which title do you like?
Is that your sister? Is pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that one too.
A meat tenderizer for your beanbag is funny too. It's a little long.
Yeah. Is that your sister? It will be our show title.
We could use we could totally just use Tide as next week since Draven won't be here.
I know.
We could just shoehorn it in the show somewhere.
If we wanted to shorten it, we could do meat tenderizer beanbag.
Yeah, we could do that one.
Excuse me.
I don't know. It doesn't quite have the same punch.
No, it doesn't. Meat tenderizer for your beanbag.
Is that your sister leaves people confused and intrigued?
Yes.
And they want to know.
They must listen to find out what is that from.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know though, like how many times people are like seeing the show title and then listening to the show to see where the show title came in. I honestly have no idea, because I don't think that I look at, like, when it's just like new episode of a show, I don't like, we put in a lot of effort as podcasters, because I know Pat does the same thing with Convert to Raid for naming a show, and most times people don't even, I think most people don't even care, but I don't know.
When I would listen to a lot of podcasts, I would look at the title. Like I was interested in it, but that's just me. So there may be others like me that actually enjoy the title.
You're podcast listeners, obviously. So do you look at the titles of the shows that you're listening to when you listen to a show each week? Or you just be like, oh, new episode, I need to listen. I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious about this. You do look at titles?
He just likes seeing his handiwork in the podcasting program.
He gave me the title for next week.
Yeah. Finally a show Draven didn't title.
You look at them, but they don't affect your listening. That makes sense. That's fair. It's just curious, and as much time as I know, like, when we come up with show titles, and then Pat, like, I know when Pat comes up with the show title and that kind of thing, is like, does it actually affect whether someone's going to download that episode or not? I don't think so. But
I don't think it does, but it's a nice creative addition, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I like funny titles. Yeah, I like them too. So for a show that's been a lot on the serious end for a lot of things, we've always had funny show titles. For the like 95% of our shows are funny titles of some sort. So
yeah, we try. We're doing pretty good.
It's always been like that. It's always been that way. So
yeah.
Licking Pat Smith. It's better to have them than not to have them. Yeah. Well, it shows a little creativity in the mix. I like creativity. We're creative people.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Tiber. Like, if it's a topical, like, certain topics that I'd want to listen to specifically, then yeah. But if it's just like, I listen to this show every week as my weekly thing, then show title isn't going to determine whether I want to hear that episode or not. It's just, I'm going to listen to it. So, I like your feedback, chat room. I like it.
Yes.
All right.
I do too.
We're going to get out of here so I can get some water and chill and probably get a sweater because I'm cold. So it was warm earlier and not warm anymore in here. Because I think we're about to get snow again.
Ah, yes. Yeah, and I need to get some water as well. And actually do something besides work today, because that's all I've done so far.
Yeah, you should probably do something like that. All right. Chat room /moo, everybody. Have a fabulous week. We will see you next week. Send us stuff to do for the show, please. And thank you.
Yes.
And /moo.
/moo, guys. Have a great week.